Hello, this is Dorothy Smith. I'm a close to my heart independent consultant, and today I'm going to bring you True Love, True Love from Princess Bride. But I have a sad tale. I actually recorded all 5 of these 2-page layouts, so 2 from the cut above and 3 from the workshops your way. And I got files, but they were corrupt, and so all of the cuts and putting together on the pages was for naught. So what I've decided to do, because I was bummed out about it for at least 2 days, was to, and I have been having problems with I don't know if it's me, it could be me, but also the camera adds to it. Anyway, I think my battery gets overheated. This is one of the layouts, and I wasn't terrifically fond of that paper, but I do like the reverse side of it. I just couldn't quite make the colors work right with that reverse side. So I'm really not going to do too much to that. Now these papers to me are exquisite with the, it's ombre, going from light to kind of a dusky pink with beautiful lacy-like corners with flowers in them. So it's really gorgeous. But I kind of decided that the top was beautiful, but it's sort of like it needed a little help. And so I took a zip strip and cut it in half. So these are 1/4 inch by 12 lengths. And I'm just kind of putting a top on these layouts. And these are cutouts from the cut apart sheets that we get 2 of in each of the workshops your way kits. And I mean, there's a lot of pieces in there. You just have to be willing to cut it. So I really liked those, and I wanted to add those up in the corner. I have to be careful because once I start doing things, I can very quickly get to the too much is just too much. I'm kind of like too much is not enough, and then all of a sudden it's too much. So I easily can get into that. But I did like that bouquet and I wanted to use it. And so I decided to put it up there. And I'll add another of the half zip strip to the other side. Now the only change that I made to the left page is in the corner there where I have our special day. They have put a ring on it, and that might be for younger people, but that phrase just doesn't sit right with me, so I didn't want to use it. So I said our special day. I thought that was a kinder, gentler way of adding something to the page. And so one of the embellishments that we get with this Workshops Your Way is this gorgeous gold thread and embellishing thread. And so I am going to use it just all over the place. There's already a few places, like I made some bows, but I decided if I'm going to embellish these pages a little bit more than they are already, then, if we also got beautiful pearls to go with these layouts, which is perfect for the theme of the love and weddings, if you have weddings or engagements or whatever. But the gold threads and the pearls are beautiful embellishments, and I thought, well, why hold on to the embellishments? Let's just use them. Let's just use as much of it as we can. And so I decided to pull out my this is my Bow Easy that I got on, I think it's Etsy. And I paid $5 for this, and you shouldn't pay, I've seen them for $14. You shouldn't pay any more than $5 or $6 or $7 for one. But they sure make putting bows together, especially with this little fine thread, it makes it much easier. I may have messed up this bow. I think I messed this one up. I don't know what I was thinking. A lot of that going around lately. Anyway, it's much easier to use the Bow Easy than it is to do it by hand. And so that's what I like to do. And so I made all of my bows, these little teensy little bows that have like 2 and 3 loops to them. So I made it with my Bow Easy. And I would suggest, instead of driving yourself crazy making bows, get yourself a Bow Easy. We don't have them with Close to My Heart, but it would be nice if we did. But there's a nice young lady out there that sells them. I am using, I think I ran out of my foam dots. Here I have to run to the next room to get them. But I'm using my liquid glass with our new applicators that you can get. You can get those online at Close to My Heart. That just makes a little pinpoint of liquid glass. The only thing with liquid glass is you need to let it sit for about 20 minutes to fully dry. And so I'm going to make another bow. Really what I love to do with this fine thread rather than making bows is to, and my hands aren't cooperating on this one, is to just make loops around my fingers and then take the loop and put a glue, a foam dot on it and tuck it under one of your other embellishments or picture frame or whatever that you can tuck something under. And then once, like with this liquid glue, I wouldn't want to spread the loops apart yet because it would probably just come undone. But with the foam dots, you can spread them right away. And so you just kind of spread them apart and they just add just some glitz to, see, my fingers weren't working properly. So I'm going round 3 times and then I cut it and I make a loop and then tie the 2 ends together, usually with at least 3 knots. So anyway, and then gluing those down, gluing the little bows down with the liquid glass makes perfect sense because you're going to be putting that on top. And then you can actually add another pearl at the knot and it will help hold the, it'll be held in place with the liquid glass and the stickum from the pearl. So the best thing with these bows is make all of your knots while your loops are still on the Bow Easy. That's the trick, because you can go around several times and put several knots in it to make sure that your bow is stable. So I think that I took it off too fast that second time I made a bow. So anyway, there's my bow. And I like to take the threads of this embellishing thread and just kind of run them between my fingernails and just kind of let there's like 3 threads that make up this embellishment thread, and let them just be little frazzled ends and they look real pretty. So I'm putting the liquid glass to put that bow down, and then I'll put, I think I put a pearl on top of it. Anyway, it's just, there's that tip to go right on top of the liquid glass. So what you have to do is take off the tip that comes with the liquid glass and then put this one on. And the only thing you need to do is just stand your liquid glass upright. So there we go. See it, those, I mean, how glitzy. And they don't add any bulk or heft or anything. So speaking of heft, I'm going to add some. I'm going to just add pearls all over the place because they just are so pretty. And they just add a nice gleam to the page. And I mean, that's kind of wedding-y, right? Pearls. And I'm going to put one on each end of the little strips, the little jotting strips for putting your journaling down. So I did like to cut off some more of the cut aparts to put on each of these pages. So I was kind of happy that I still had some cut apart pieces left. So the next one is you know, with this sapphire blue that is so rich. And so when I started looking at these was like, you know, I could add. You can read instructions and do these layouts, you know, exactly the way I did if you were so inclined, if you'd rather just read instructions. But, you know, you can add to it. So there I added another heart. So we have hearts on either side of the layout. And I added a little journaling place to put a date or a place or whatever. And those little the greenery on behind the pink heart, all of that is from the cut apart pages. So I'm going to glue the greenery down with my Tombow, but then I'm going to put lift the pink heart up with some foam dots. And so just, you know, adding a little bit of dimension, adding a little bit more color, you know, taking some of the white cardstock and adding stuff to it. Yeah, that's what I like to do. You could also, if you wanted to, which would really be nice, is to take a well, if you have like the blobs or the swishes from the stamp sets, you could actually add some light ink splatters to the background, especially on this white. See, I could see some sapphire splats on that, and I think it would look really good. But I'm going to put some more pearls, so I'm going to put some pearls on the center of the flowers, and up by that little lonely heart with the two little pink stars coming off of it, put some pearls up there. And you know, I thought that little heart looked kind of lonely up there when I first did it. So now it's up there with its pearl buddies. So it's a pearl jam. Yay, I love this. I really like these pearls. And why not? Right? So there we go. I'm going to add, let me see, where am I? Oh, I'm going to add some pearls over. So that long strip right there is the journaling strip. And I can't find my jotting pen, so I used an old black marker that we used to carry to kind of add some, and this one had run out of ink, so it's got to go. So I've got to run to the other room, excuse me, while I do that. Anyway, I think I've said before I need to get a couple of more jotting pens, so I've got them in a couple of different places, in my video room and also my club room. Anyway, the jotting pen, making a rim around white edges, really adds just a little je ne sais quoi, but just a little something around that edge of either your pictures where you put pictures down or your journaling areas, or even around the whole page. Like you could put the journaling ink running down the sides of both of the white pages, and that would be helpful. So I found the old, see, and it just adds a little kick to it. So the other thing I think I'm going to add, I can't even tell. There's very little of the gold thread, if any, on this piece. There may be a little bit down by that bow. It's not a bow, that's a blue heart. But I can't really tell. If there is something, it's very little. Anyway, I'm going to add some more, and I'm going to put it up by the top piece going over the picture. And see, that just needed a little something. And since I've got the dots there, I could spread the loops apart right away. And look at how nicely they just stay. I mean, it's like, good dog. Yay. Okay. So I'm going to add some more loops because really, ladies, it's so much easier to do loops than it is to do bows. And the loops are very effective. And when the thread, because it's sort of a metallic type thread, when it comes off of that little spool, I don't know what else to call it, but the little card piece, it has kinks in it. And so all you have to do is run that thread between your fingers, and the kinks just disappear magically. And then you've just got nice, smooth, rounded edges instead of kind of, the edges being kind of kinked out here and there. And so see how pretty those pearls look with that heart and the pearls and the gold thread. It just, see, and I added a pearl to that little flower, and down there, the pearls just add so much. So I don't know, if I had been able to just do this video with putting the 5 pages together, not pages, layouts, 10 pages, I probably wouldn't have add more embellishments to these pages, to tell you the truth. So maybe I'm kind of glad that my camera messed up, and even though I can't show you how I put them together, there are full and complete instructions on how to do this. And so I'm using also whatever is left over, because we always have a lot of leftovers of the sticker sheet that we get as an embellishment with the Workshops Your Way. Now, I'm doing the cut above right now, but these papers coordinate. So why not go ahead and use some of the leftover stickers and punch out things from the leftovers and put them on the cut above layouts, which are, they're simple. I'll put it that way. And so I'm going to, just like that flower is one of the dimensional punch outs, and that sticker of flowers below the jotting area, that's a sticker. And I am putting a little, this is also one of the dimensional elements from the punch out, and it says better together. So I'm putting that right in between where I would put pictures of me and Jim. And so I added, let's see, I'm going to add some sticker flowers up there by making memories. And then we have, these are also stickers. Those are the same little, like the little pink stars. I don't know what to call these little guys. They're like little diamond shapes. And to just kind of emphasize, and because there's 2 yellow flowers, I'm going to put that next to us for the 2 of us. And I'm going to probably pop up that kind of, what is it? It kind of looks like a dogwood flower, but I'm not sure. Now I could put that, or I could put this. These are all of the dimensional punch outs, but I'm not really sure which one. Actually, that one would have looked nice with it. That really would have looked nice with it. I don't think I used it. When you look back and you say, well, that would have been good. But then I had this, and that's cute too. It's got colors of all the flowers that I'm using on this layout. And it's a little envelope with flowers coming out of it. So I'm going to add some little flowers down there with the camera, and just kind of emphasize that little corner with the camera a little bit more. So I really like that little yellow flower. I don't know where I used it. I think I took it off. That the yellow flower, the yellow center just kind of takes away from that flower looking like an eyeball staring at me. I think I put it down there with the camera and the lens, and I felt like I had eyes staring at me. I think I'm losing it. Anyway, we'll see. It's a surprise to me. I can't remember what I did here. Okay, here we go. Do something, Dorothy. Okay, I'm going to pop up foam dots and put the flower down. And we'll see or I'm moving it. I don't know. Probably would have been better with the camera. Anyway, right below that 4x6 going vertical, there's a love, 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 and that came from, I believe, the sticker sheet. So that was not there. So that was also added along with that spray of leaves and the little purple heart. So I'm adding some of the little gold embellishment thread underneath the heart up there, because you know you can't have too much of that, in my opinion. I think if you put a whole bunch of it on there, it still would look lovely. I don't think it would look overdone because it's so fine. But I haven't pushed myself to that limit yet. I've almost used up all the thread here, so I'm pretty happy with myself that I've done that. I always have so many embellishments left, and it's like, what's the point? Why are you saving these embellishments? You know, I have boxes of embellishments. So, you know, try to use them with abandon, but not to the point of it getting overdone. And I don't know how you figure that out. Okay, so I really like that thread there, and there's my little flowers. And okay, here come the pearls. So the flowers just scream to have pearls on them. They just go so beautifully with the flowers. Now, see, I did that, and those, it looks like eyeballs looking at me. They gotta go. So I'll drop the eyeballs down. There we go. That's better. So I'm going to add some pearls around the flower. And then I've got to add some pearls over by the camera. I'm liking my pearls. I don't think I've ever used so many embellishments on layouts. I'm really happy with myself. So there we go. There's my pearls. There's my gold thread. Okay, we've got one more, ladies, if you can handle me. So this is what the layout looks like with just the instructions. So I am going to be emphasizing, there's just a tad of green showing around the pictures. Just a little bit of that sage green. And so these are zip strips that I am tucking under the flower and the gold thread up there. And I'm just adding it on top. Now, you may not like that, but I'm seeming to need to put a top on my layouts lately. And I just wanted to bring out a little bit more of the green. I love green and pink together. And so that's what I'm doing up there. And then I am going to, these large sprays of flowers are just beautiful from the cut above. And so it's actually layered flowers. So you get the first layer, and then you get some dimensional, well, I don't think they're dimensional. I think they're just cardstock. And you layer them on top of the same flower. And so you've got, you know, a flower underneath the large flowers. And so it just adds dimension to these beautiful sprays of flowers. And so then adding the pearls, and I have a little bit, if you can tell, there's a little bit of gold thread on the right hand page on the large spray of flowers over towards the right side, the far right. So there's just like 2 or 3 loops. Well, I'm going to add a little bit more of these loops to these sprays, because I think that, you know, for one thing, the large sprays can totally handle a lot of loops. And see how pretty that looks? And I'm going to put another one on there because there's kind of that empty space there to the northwest of that spray on the right hand side. And so you see how easy, how quickly I can make, and you know I work kind of slow, but I can make those loops really quick. And so it's fun for me to embellish and not feel like my fingers aren't as agile as they used to be. Nothing like having your age thrown in your face. But this adds punch, delicate punch, but it just adds just some character to your embellishments, and it's easy to do and you don't get frustrated with it. So there we go. I think I'm finished. Ta-da! Okay, I'm sorry I couldn't show you how I put the layouts together, but you know, there's instructions to show you how to do that. And this gave me a chance to use up a whole bunch of my embellishments and add to all of my layouts. So thank you so much. Thanks for watching. Bye now.